Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name's Tom.
Hi, Tom.
I'm a fantasy sports addict.
And my name is Ryan, and I, too, am a fantasy sports addict.
Howdy, Ryan. How you doing tonight?
It's my morning. I'm actually waking up early on my day off to do this podcast.
Oh, that's right. Well, good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning and happy Monday Night Football, right?
Yeah, even though I don't have TV, but that's okay.
Oh, no. Well, let's get right to this. This podcast is podcast 72. And, of course, as always, it's brought to you by our executive producer, J Money Smooth.
Woo! All right. Thank you, J Money.
Always hitting that donate button if you want to get a shout out or be a producer for a show or get your name mentioned, right? You hit that donate button, buy yourself a t-shirt, whatever. There's a lot of ways. And we always appreciate it. So thank you again, J Money. And let's get right into the news, Ryan. I need some news.
Some news? Well, I guess the first news, I mean, what we've kind of been talking about is Andrew from FantasyAid. You guys finally did the way too early
no, it was
baseball
the right
draft.
That was the right in time.
Right time.
That was right in time mock draft. I mean, I think honestly, yeah, that was beautiful. So yeah, Andrew from FantasyAid, check out his YouTube channel, or if you need some baseball advice, hit him up on Twitter at FantasyAid, the number 1. But yes, we did his mock draft last week, and it was a great draft. But the only thing that was missing was, well, you asshole. Where the hell were you?
Sleeping, unfortunately.
Sleeping? What are you, Sleeping Beauty? You're always asleep.
Well, again, I work nights.
Sleeping Beauty, Ryan. Sleeping Beauty. He needs his beauty rest, everybody. So
you
missed
this
draft. If that
was the case, I would never wake up.
That's true.
Yeah, I missed the draft, but unfortunately, I thought it was 8 o'clock our time, but
it was actually 8 p.m. East Coast. East Coast, Ryan. East Coast.
Well, I didn't.
We're like the only West Coast people, so
yeah.
Yes, it was a fine draft, an evening of much merriment and drafting, and I came away with a really exciting team, and of course J Money also and Andrew, the addicts were well represented, and we did this on FanTrax. I think we kind of decided it might not just be a complete throwaway league either. Like, a lot of us really liked our teams.
Like, you're going to even check your FanTrax team when the baseball season's coming around. And you got all your dynasty leagues back and 20 other fucking Yahoo leagues.
Well, you know what? Let me just say this. My team's so good after that draft. The draft itself went so smoothly. I might just let that thing freeball and be just fine.
Woo, freeballing.
Freeballing, it's FanTrax. You can freeball in FanTrax. With a tube sock, of course. You got to be careful. Use protection. We still haven't done those videos. We're going to have to work on that as soon as we get together again. Some FanTrax videos. But yeah, that was an awesome draft, and thank you, Andrew, for hosting that. It was a pleasure to join you on the broadcast. If you guys haven't seen it or didn't know it was happening, go check out FantasyAid, check out Andrew's channel, and he's got it posted there. You can check the whole draft, see how it went, who had what team, and it's pretty fun.
He did even a post-draft kind of analysis video as well. That's worth checking out.
Oh, did he? Okay, I didn't catch that. I'd be interested to know how he felt about my team. I know how I felt about it, but
all right. And on so other news, it's depending on the way your football league is set up, it is playoffs. So I'm sure some people listening to this right now are watching this Monday Night Football game rather intently because their football playoffs are on the line.
Yep, mine are. We got the well, actually, our leagues haven't started, have they?
No, the FSAA ones.
We got one. Basically, this is the last day of the last week for the FSAA leagues. But for the FSAA leagues, woo! I'm in the playoffs. I'm excited. And I'm looking forward to whatever the competition brings. Unfortunately, my team is falling apart. Both teams are, but it's okay. I'm in the playoffs, Ryan, and you're not.
And I wasn't at the draft.
Were you in the league?
Yeah.
But you weren't at the draft.
I was working.
If you're not sleeping, you're working. Jesus.
Right?
Do you have any time for fantasy sports? I thought you said you were a fantasy sports addict. What the hell's going on here? Okay, so I've got some news. People are saying maybe the stream is acting up. Maybe the live stream's a little funky. I know our viewership's dropping. I don't know what's going on. Everything sounds good on my end, and everything sounds good on your end. I don't know what would be acting up per se.
Yeah,
but we are down.
I'm able to play back the stream.
Okay.
And it's working.
Are you hearing it just fine?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure what would be.
I think it's just you
going
guys.
wrong.
Hopefully,
all right, so
if it's not working for everybody, I don't know. Let us know.
Yeah, usually we can tell if there's something going wrong on our end. But at this juncture, I'm not aware of anything wrong on our end. Normally, I can hear Ryan crapping out, or he can hear me crapping out. So far, so good, I think, in that regard. But well, we'll let us know. We'll be patient. We'll wait for you guys. We'll see what we have to do, because I don't want anybody to miss the drama we got brewing up tonight. We got some drama. It's been brewing up.
It's been a while since we've had any drama. Everything's been too quiet.
Been too friendly. We need some drama. Well, we'll have more drama. It's fantasy football playoffs. There's bound to be drama, right? But yeah, the drama. I missed it. I actually missed the drama. So you'll have to illustrate or enlighten, if you would, about the drama. If you could illuminate what was going on for me, I would appreciate that. I missed it. Was it this weekend that it started? This drama we speak of?
Right. I mean, I don't know how much the word drama would be the word, or I mean, whatever. We have our the FSAA Roto auction league that we did
for Dynasty. It's not Dynasty, but it's a Roto auction basketball.
Right.
Basketball league. Okay.
And I don't have the chat or what was actually said, but one of our addicts, probably had a couple one too many PBRs. I don't know.
Really? Wait, no. Addicts never have too many. We don't do too many.
We're not pointing fingers or pot meat kettle.
Right. So somebody drank something too much of some paint? What was it?
That was you, Tom. But anyways, what it really just kind of comes down to is just
what does it come down to? You're killing me.
I'm trying to think of how to put it. It's a matter of lazy ass commissioning and teams leaving studs on their benches. You're just overall not checking in. I mean, it's a great competitive league. But, there's one manager that left off, Westbrook and maybe Giannis, but it was literally just like a night. And let's be real, as much as we all are addicts here, we all have a life as well. A lot of us are in school with finals. It's the holidays. Work's been fucking busy.
Any number of things, right? So there was some criticism of perhaps the management and commissioning style of the Roto League. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Was there, all right, and the inciting incident was that someone left players on their bench?
Exactly.
Was it me?
No, I mean, I'm sure you do. Or
I'm in 14th fucking place. I haven't left 14th place since the day after the season started. It's a Roto League. I mean, I'm dicked. I mean, my team's just dicked, and so I haven't really. Yeah, I've tiptoed, but there was a little bit of I guess controversy then about who did what. Now, I want to. Can we be blunt? Let's just name names. Let's name names. I'm not gonna beat around it here. Let's talk about it. So we're all addicts here. we all know each other. It's not like we're strangers. Addict Tris was
Our weird
very
uncle.
unhappy. Weird uncle. He was very unhappy with someone leaving star players on the bench, like their top 2 picks, basically. And really took umbrage to that, right? So he lit things up and then called our commissioning into question, essentially. And here's how much of a aware commissioner I am in that league. I missed it. So this all rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But from just an outside perspective of somebody who was barely paying attention and just now caught on, he's not entirely wrong.
No, I mean, he makes, valid points. It's true, and it's something that is worth discussing. Because, again, this isn't just our league. Our league is still fucking great. But, like, you get in a league, there's always going to be some fucking fall off, especially in a roto league where it's like, well, Tom, you had a shitty draft.
Right.
And your team sucks. You suck, and you're just going to suck.
Right. Just in that league, though, I'll save most of the sucking for when we're together. What do you think of that?
Well, it seems like this goddamn YouTube's not working again. Can't hear shit. Dictator still buffering.
Still buffering. Well, what do we want to do? Do we want to try to stream over again? What do we want to do? Because this is it's problematic if people can't hear us. I don't know if the entire podcast will be ruined. I mean, what do we want to do? People seem very upset about that now. I mean, the game's kicking off. They want to hear the updates on the scoring. We want to talk about the game going on. We want to talk about the drama. We want to get caught up on all that. There's going to be fallout. There's going to be dialogue. We will hopefully hear from Weird Uncle. I was hoping to have.
Weird. The fucking YouTube appears to be playing fine for me.
Well, I haven't checked it, but I certainly wouldn't mind. I can take a look at it. But I was really hoping for a nice, smooth broadcast this evening in which we had, people on to air their grievances. This is the Festivus show. And,
buff all day long.
Really?
God damn it. I don't know.
There's always a problem. I mean, are you having this difficulty? Because I'm currently not.
I'm not either.
Okay, let me check it out. I'm checking it out here, everybody. Checking in.
All right, guys, please hold pat, stay tuned. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, everything's fine for me. Everything's fine on my end, so I'm not sure what the issue would be. But
let's just keep going, and then hopefully maybe once it uploads, you guys can go back and watch it. I mean, again, part of the whole thing of doing it live is to have good.
Well, we want feedback. We want conversation. We want dialogue. We want to talk about some of this drama. I mean, it's not fair that we should single out one individual, one manager without giving them a chance for some rebuttal. And I was hoping to get a little bit of dialogue. I think there's some people that have some things to say, things they want to get off their chest.
Some airing of grievances.
This is the Festivus show. I would hope for some airing of grievances at some point, maybe even feats of strength. I've already got. I am swinging around the pole as we speak. I'm doing
the Festivus pole.
Yeah, I'm working the pole. I'm doing some nice dancing. If you like, throw me some dollars. Make it rain. But yeah, let's get back to this. So Tris, we all know who Tris is. We know Tris has a bit of an abrasive persona, and that's not that's not anything we don't know, and I don't think that's anything that's like an insulting comment. He can be a bit abrasive if you don't know Tris. I've certainly had my run-ins with Tris, as we know, right?
Yeah.
There's the bourbon incident. But as I've talked to Tris and gotten to know him, I understand that he just he says what's on his mind. And like us, as most of us do, we enjoy our adult beverages. A few adult beverages, and there's something on his mind, he's going to let you know about it. And
fair enough. And like what we said, his thing wasn't wrong. I just think it was misdirected. Like, one start, whatever, fucking happens. But then you got some asshat like fucking Tom and Bronson.
Hey, I'm not an ass. What's with the name calling? I'm not talking about you not playing teams you're not playing. If you're out, you're out. You reallocate your resources to where you can succeed and win.
It's all right, Tom. I just called you an asshat.
Well, don't make me come through the internet and punch you.
Yeah.
Where are you leaving the podcast? Ryan has left the podcast, everyone. He needs more drinks. See, who would we be if we're trying to criticize somebody for saying something while they were drinking? We have lost the entire room at this point because the podcast and the broadcast seems to be completely fucked.
Way off the rails.
Now, if you are hearing this live and it's not fucked for you, please send me a text message. I think most everybody out there in the world has my phone number for a text message. I won't.
All right. Andrew's saying that appears to be working.
Woo! All right. Thank you, Andrew, for the quality control check. Always good. Always good. Thank you. But there's other outstanding issues besides just the initial one-time criticism there. Who was it that left their players on the bench, by the way?
It was Reese.
Okay, Reese. Yeah, it's Reese, the guy we had from our Dynasty Baseball League that got canceled.
Yeah.
Okay, so Reese missed a start. He's in finals. Tris didn't like it. Tris didn't like how we're running the league. And he spouted off. And other people reacted very negatively to this. I don't know if they were like coming to our defense or if they've just had enough generally. Because as I said, we know Tris is slightly abrasive. I'm not making any criticisms there when I say it. Love, peace and love, like a Beatles song. I love doing that. But yes, abrasive. And so we had, I had a lot of conversations today. I was trying to get people into the broadcast, trying to get people to. I want to air some grievances. I want to hear some of these things, but I feel like your pugs are airing their grievances. I feel like though, without all the parties involved, this whole airing of grievances thing is not going to be as effective because I can't speak for other people and I don't want to, I don't want to speak their piece for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's not what we're about. I mean, the main thing with, any league or especially like something like us where we do have, it's a community with a lot of personalities. Not everybody's going to get along and like everybody. And it's not that we don't have to. I mean, fuck. Sometimes it's better if people don't like each other.
Well, I was just about to say, I'd prefer that we don't have that. Honestly, I mean, why do we all have to get along? I like a little controversy, a little drama. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Healthy rivalries, healthy competition, healthy smack talk, shit talk, whatever, what have you. I do kind of believe that it's in the best interest to have a little bit of drama, a little bit of, little edge, because we can't, if it's that safe where we're all just like skipping through the flowers holding hands, right? That's not very interesting.
Yeah, no, that's boring. That's fucking boring.
Now, if we have Tris, can you pull up exactly what he said? Because at one point you mentioned that he wanted, like he was demanding to have a phone call with us over the weekend or something.
All right, let me see if I can get that far back in our chat.
Okay, because I was just I wanted to offer him the opportunity to speak his piece on the show, in the podcast, and say what it was, and maybe clarify. He has kind of not backpedaled, but he's attempted to clarify, after the fact. But I think he's not entirely out of order with a lot of what he's saying. I also think maybe he has other points to make that are valid, and I was hoping to have him in the podcast to, sort of, clarify his comments or explain what his feelings were. And we could have our rebuttal or agree or disagree and take note. I mean, we always do, like, even if it's criticism, we'll take the feedback. We're not immune to criticism and all that sort of thing, right? We like that.
All right. So, this is what was said on the YouTube chat. Like, is Rice and Roto NBA dead? What the fuck? Left Westbrook and Kimpo on the bench. Not acceptable. Woo! It was capitalized.
Okay, so you had to shout it.
We all love the videos, but what really matters is about league leadership, is maintaining activity. Is fucking December. What the fuck? Seriously, and this is for Ryan and Tom, what's going to make your leagues go like the top is two things. Activity and fun. You got fun licks. You know, I have fun, and even though I'm not cool in your leagues, activity has to be improved upon, and you all need to expect it. You need to get mad. I know everyone is cool. I'm not a Nazi, but some understanding what we have is a good idea. Here's the deal. You know, speaking to the other addicts or managers, you know, you're lucky to be included in an FSAA league.
Really?
Or, yeah, if you're so lucky as to be included in an FSAA league, you best be active or you will be replaced. Have some fucking pride in your brand. This is FS-fucking-A. Addicts are addicts. Peace.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what the I can see how that rubbed other people slightly the wrong way. Just by, what is with the dogs? Can you tell the dogs to stop raping each other, please?
Dogs! Shut up! Calm down, pugs.
Oh, it's out of control. But I could see how that comment might rub other people the wrong way, but I actually think it's coming from a good place.
Yeah.
I mean, what that he's like defending our leagues. He's telling us we got to like have high standards. And I don't believe I have a problem with that. I understand that it is. I mean, again, it's somewhat. I don't even know how the alcohol specifically factors into that. It didn't seem too drunken. There's no hard R's or hard F's or. I mean, all right? When you first saw that, what was your immediate reaction? Because again, I've got this all secondhand. This is all secondhand news, like a Fleetwood Mac song, you know?
Okay. Well, okay, so before I get in, there's another little chunk. Like, all right, so sometimes I feel like I am the only person that cares about the integrity of this league. Am I the only person that gives a shit about the rules around here?
Oh, I love it. You know what? I actually love it.
Of course you do.
I actually love it.
And then, so I'm alone now. It is cool if I'm alone. I would just like to know, because my host and commissioners are barely fucking active in the NBA, and I'm kind of wondering if they even care about how they fare in those leagues. You know, again, he apologized for being a dick, but, you know, he's letting shit happen.
All right, I will say this. He's not wrong. My team's fucked out the window from day one. And we kind of inadvertently changed the league settings so that there were no max games played per position. It's a rotisserie, so normally Roto leagues, there's a max games at each position. But as such, there's no max games, and everybody can just sort of stream as they want. And so probably some of the top teams are doing a lot of streaming, and they're winning because of that. I have no problem with that. And honestly, I love our FSAA leagues, but I am more than happy to watch other people win those leagues. I am, as you know, and you know yourself, we've got our home leagues. Like our home leagues that we've been doing 12 plus years now or even longer. I mean, that's where home's where your heart is, right? Like and again, part of that's just because these leagues are so much newer. That's not to say they're bad leagues or I don't give a shit about them. But I'm not going to beat my head against the wall trying to figure out how to get out of 14th place in a Roto league where there's nothing to pick up.
Right. I mean, again, it does, make it difficult. And again, yeah, we got those managers that are just streaming away and, probably going to run away with the league just because of, the whole quantity over quality, which is why you have max games in the first place. And
especially for Roto.
We get it.
But no, I'm not. I mean, honestly, I'm more than happy to watch somebody else win the FSAA leagues. I think that's partly why we do them, is because we want to see some competition that's better than we are. We want other people to have fun. I mean, they're not necessarily intended to be the absolute most cutthroat leagues out there. I don't think they're intended to be the absolute, like, now we could always do a casual versus cutthroat. And if we do a cutthroat league, I think we need to scale back, obviously, the number of managers.
I like being somewhere in the goddamn middle. Fuck it. Like, yeah, we're all addicts. We all love sports, but like, fuck it. We're having fun. Woo! Party time. Excellent.
I got drunk and drafted a team, man. Woo! That's really like, I mean, come on. And like, if your team sucks, your team sucks. But, you know, I mean, have fun. I mean, I get it. I get it. They're not, maybe these immediate leagues aren't the most cutthroat. But again, the nature of something like 14 teams or deeper, there's not going to be that. We can't all be in first place.
The thought of like replacing a manager and a fucking redraft, like
no way.
14 teams, like, I'm sorry, okay, fucking Bronson, right? Dude, I don't think he's fucking checked in since the first week of the goddamn NBA season.
Not in that league. Not in that league.
Yeah, like, we could be active and find somebody to replace, but what the fuck is the point of, like, someone coming in and taking Bronson's shit-ass team and last place? Like,
who wants to take over a 13th place team in the first place?
Right.
You know, who's like, I'll take that team. Halfway through the season, 2 months in now. We're what, week 8, week 9?
Week 8, I think it's week 8.
I mean, who's banging down the door to get? I realize that, like, you know, it's a privilege to be in the leagues, and I think that's a very nice sentiment. But it's not. They're not that exclusive. I mean, maybe that's giving us a little too much credit. I mean, right? I mean, they are nice leagues. We have great competition, but I don't know that they're that exclusive. You know, and honestly, yeah, like, I would prefer at this point in my situation where I've sort of become Bronson's stepfather or whatever, adopted father, because of all the, I mean, that's just the joke. Everybody's, he's Thurman Merman and I'm Billy Bob Thornton. I'm just happy that kid's going to school. Okay. Like, that's my priority right now. Like, if he's not setting his team, but he's going to school and turning in his assignments, I mean, again, he's a kid. He's in high school. And that kid needs his focus, and he's been busy. He's actually been making an effort. He's been working hard. And I think we should applaud that. And if that means he ignores a team where he's in 13th or 14th place, I have no problem with that. I would prefer that he focused on his homework and focused on the leagues where he's in competition and in contention, because there are teams where he's in, you know, good shape, and he's playing them.
Quiet.
So, yeah, I mean, as far as replacing somebody in a redraft, if this were Dynasty,
absolutely,
you bet your ass. I mean, if this was Dynasty, now I even then, I don't know about replacing somebody mid-season in Dynasty either. I'm not a big fan of that. I tend to prefer to replace people at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, kind of thing. You know, like, preferably, I think the beginning of the year to facilitate trades in the offseason, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, Dynasty, yeah, if we had some drop off like that, absolutely, you know, replace somebody that's dead team. But I mean, how do you feel? Like, I don't think it makes sense to really replace anybody or threaten anything, especially because, I mean, his criticism really, I think, was misdirected somewhat in terms of who it was directed at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, again, Reese, I don't know. I never get his pronunciation.
He's been a great manager. He's been active. He's been setting his teams, and like, he fucking got busy with fucking finals.
Right. If you want to like crap on somebody in that particular league who's slacking, you know, direct your criticism at me. Now, as far as our commissioning goes, we have a pretty minimalistic job. There's nothing going on that we need to like police. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and check 14 teams worth of rosters when I'm barely having enough time to check my own. I don't have the time to So,
I again, you mentioned the fact about like, how much do we care? Like, how much do you really care, Tom?
not enough to check every other team besides mine in the league to make sure they set it, let alone did I remember to set it when I've got shit stacking up past my fucking ears, in terms of what I've got to deal with on a day-to-day basis. How about you, Ryan? Do you have enough time to go through everybody's team?
I barely have a fucking enough time to set my teams. Like, I'll go through and like set a week in advance, like spend like fucking couple hours, but like I've been busy at work, so I haven't had time to like do shit with my teams while I'm at work on the clock. Like, again, I got projects, I got fucking new employees I'm training. That doesn't work. I'm on my fucking night shifts. Like, fantasy, like, yes, I love fantasy. I'm addicted. I'm going to be playing. I'm always going to be goddamn playing. But, like, I'm not going to fucking babysit, hold somebody's hands. Somebody doesn't like something, like, big fucking deal.
Well, I mean, again, outside of like some sort of obvious cheating or collusion or a trade that needs, like, our job as commissioner, and that's kind of the beauty of our leagues, honestly, is that there's not a lot of chaos or a lot of things going on that we have to police. I mean, if you make a trade, we assume you're enough of an adult or enough of a, knowledgeable manager that you will make a smart move, make an intelligent move that we don't need to like babysit. And so we don't take a lot of time to be like, well, was that fair? Like, if you made it, it's fair. We trust you.
But I mean, keep in mind that like if you're not a good manager and you don't bring something to the leagues, you're not going to come back to the next league.
Fair enough. So does that mean I'm kicked out of our Roto League?
You should be.
Hey, it's a goddamn dead team, dude. I got plenty of teams that are not dead. I'm in fucking second place in the FSAA football leagues. Where are you?
That's I was at the draft.
Well, that's all right. So that's, like I had a bad draft. And so I'm not going to put a whole bunch of energy into a team that's just not that good. But I will accept the criticism of perhaps being a little lackadaisical. I'll accept that criticism. And I'd prefer that it does come to me instead of somebody like, Reese, because Reese isn't really that way. Like Reese, he's not in that position. He is playing his team. He missed one night. So, I mean, as far as that goes, I'll take the heat. I'd prefer to have the heat on that. And I don't think it's entirely unwarranted criticism. I think there's compliment in with the criticism and as far as what Tris was saying.
Absolutely. And yeah, it is. Our leagues are fucking good. I love our managers and the community.
Now, I mean, as far as, I think Bronx is in a situation. It's similar to mine with the whole like bad team thing. But, we've got to have a little patience, especially this time of year. Like if these teams are still like totally AWOL after football's over, after,
holidays.
Like basketball really only starts at Christmas time. We know that. We all know that. That's like the official start of basketball,
Yeah.
Right? Christmas Day. That's day one of the actual NBA season. Nobody's really paying attention until then anyhow.
It's like watching the last 2 minutes of the fucking game.
Right. That's when it's good. That's the only time I pay attention. The rest of otherwise it's just stats on paper for me. It's not big. I mean, I don't know. I'm not as huge of a basketball fan as I used to be. I've become much more. Every year, I think I'm more of a baseball fan than anything else. And I'm actually becoming somewhat of a. I hate to say this. I'm kind of becoming a football fan here, Ryan. I still don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm starting to get better at it. Like it's taken 10 years or so. But I've been, all right, honestly, I've been way more active in our football leagues and all the football leagues I'm in than I've been in anything else. I don't know why this year, but I've been very hyper-focused on football. And I think it's partly because, I know I can win basketball leagues. I know I can play fantasy basketball. I win fantasy football, but it's only because, somehow I got lucky. And this year, I've really put a lot of energy into knowing what I'm doing. And I still don't know what I'm doing.
Well, that's good because maybe next season we can talk about football a little bit. Woo!
Woo! Pigskin, yeah.
Football.
All right, I just want to ask, why is there somebody dressed as Super? Oh, that's okay. I thought there was a guy. That's like the line. I was watching this game. I thought there was somebody dressed as Superman next to the Baltimore Ravens coach. But he's like a lineman or something like like the guy that marks the goal line or something. I just thought I thought he was wearing a Superman cape or something. Sorry. I got distracted.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I got distracted, everybody. But yeah, I mean, if Triss is listening, if Triss is out there, I mean, I hope chime in on the chat because I'd like to hear other people's opinions about this too. I know we had 6-7 people hanging out for a minute, but we don't anymore.
I think the problem is the fucking YouTube live streaming. Sonic was saying that other live streams going on right now are kind of having the same buffering type issues.
Okay.
So again, I'm pretty sure that the podcast is recording, and after the fact, everything's going to be fine. But
so we'll go back and listen to it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, when it's not us, it's fucking YouTube. If it's not YouTube, it's Google Hangouts. Like,
then it's us, or we take turns failing. But yeah, so I think if we got anybody that's still hearing or can hear this or can chime in on the chat, I'd like to take some opinions. I'm open to this topic. I'd like, if there's criticism. All right, now speaking of this, we've got there's another FanTrax league we're in. We're in JD Ballow's football league, and again, he's got kind of the same situation. He's like, look, I understand some of you guys don't like FanTrax, and maybe you're not coming back, but he wants to know who's going to be in next year, and he wants you to kind of chime in and make a statement and let him know you're playing. I've been kind of debating because I do feel bad. I don't like joining leagues that I'm not going to play. That's not usually how I sign up for fantasy sports. When we started, think about it. When we started with the whole FanTrax thing for a minute, like our intention was to like switch entirely over to FanTrax. We were going to move our baseball leagues. We were going to move our dynasties, our basketball, everything. Everything was going to FanTrax. We were sponsored by FanTrax for like a half a minute.
Yeah.
But then we decided we didn't like FanTrax. And so I'm very torn. I wanted to participate. I wanted to be part of that league. I just don't like FanTrax. And so I think JD's a good commissioner. He's not like calling people out, singling people out. He's not starting any fights, but he's handling it, I think, in a very, like pretty common sense way. Just, hey, let me know if you're in or you're out. And if I don't hear from you, I'm just going to assume you're out. No big deal. And, we'll move on. And I think that's entirely fair. And I really do feel bad because I just wish FanTrax was something I wanted to be playing fantasy sports on. I really do.
If FanTrax could have been what it should have been, we would fucking have made the switch. Like, it's so close, but yet so goddamn far.
And now I think that's of all the leagues, I think of all the situations where I'm most guilty of like not really giving a fuck, it's the FanTrax leagues. And I've openly admitted that. I've been very forthright about that.
That's why one of our podcasts a couple ago, we blew up our basketball FanTrax league.
Yeah, and that wasn't a popular decision. People didn't like that, but I mean, what are we gonna do? We can't host a league we're not playing.
Should we go fucking kill our ESPN league?
Do we have it? Wait, what the fuck? What ESPN league do we have?
You don't even know about it.
I'm in an ESPN league?
Yeah, it's an actual fucking dynasty.
What? When did that happen? When did I draft that goddamn team? No, seriously.
Exactly.
When did I draft that team? What? Oh, that's all right. See, that's terrible. That's terrible. So these are, as much as maybe Triss, was abrasive with what he said, he's not entirely out of order. I feel like he's making a valid point in an abrasive fashion. So I'm curious to hear like what people's reaction is, like their personal reactions. I know there are people with outside issues regarding maybe Triss or other managers. I wanted to have this be like a big bitch fest. I wanted everybody to like get a couple minutes and like it turned into like a roast and maybe a fight. And I wanted it to be like really exciting tonight, like some smack talk and some chaos. But that's just not happening. So that's okay. But again, I don't want to speak for people. I don't want to speak out of turn for people. I don't want to. But if anybody would like to say anything, either through the chat or jump into the podcast here and just weigh in about whatever, I'm more than open to that, and we can send out the link so you can jump into the Hangout. Ryan, I mean, if you're paying attention to the chat, just kind of keep an eye and see if anybody's got anything they'd like to say.
Keeping an eye. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we can kill that ESPN league. I didn't even know we had it, so. Or I forgot all about it. That seems like. Why would I draft an ESPN league?
Well, we do have a little bit of news that kind of came up during this podcast.
What's that?
This is from Reese.
Okay, there's our guy.
Supposedly it's not. I just like saying Rice.
Okay.
But yeah, Reese. Anyways, he's saying he's recently became a fantasy baseball writer for Major League Mayhem. And
nice.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, awesome, dude. That's great.
And he was wondering if we wanted to do a draft sometime this weekend with the other baseball writers, as well as, you, Andrew, maybe a couple other addicts.
Oh, damn right we do. Woo! Yeah, we do.
Hell yeah.
What site will this be on? Will it be on FanTrax, or is this just a mock? What is the situation here?
Well, I think it's just a mock draft, I'm assuming, just because of the time of year.
Okay. I mean,
and it would have to be FanTrax because they're the only baseball site you can draft on right now.
Nice. So we're gonna mock into a sock. I love it. Sorry, I
draft!
keep going with that.
There's
draft. Sound
mock
the horn.
into a sock.
Yeah, I'm mocking into a sock. That's my. I'm gonna mock into a sock. I keep going with that sock reference. You went with the cheap prostitute reference for FanTrax.
Yeah.
I'm just calling her a crusty old tube sock. It's like when you're a kid and I don't know, junior high, your mom still does your laundry. She's got to break the sock over her knee to get it into the fucking wash machine.
Nah,
that's FanTrax, baby.
That's why you have so many mismatched socks or missing sets.
I don't have any missing socks. I keep track of all my mock socks. Oh, geez. All right. So, yeah, that's actually Reese. Thank you for sounding the draft horn. Again, hopefully it is just mock, so it's not a FanTrax league that we're all just going to ignore, since that's the that's the controversy of the night. Leagues we ignore.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think we. It's not that we have a lack of concern for our FSAA leagues or anything like that. I mean, there's just not much to be concerned with except for people's individual beefs or arguments, I guess. Now, in fairness, I mean, again, if Triss is that dedicated, whoa, this game's getting crazy. If Triss is that dedicated, perhaps, maybe, I mean, in fairness, should he be the commissioner? Maybe he should be a commissioner. I mean, honestly,
got more time put into it than we do.
I'm just worried he'd be a little heavy-handed. That's all.
Right.
But I mean, again, that maybe he should be like a co-commish. I don't know if the dogs like that or dislike it.
I don't know either.
This game's crazy already. Sorry, I'm watching football while we talk. Oh my God, that was awesome. I don't know who the fuck is 58 on the Patriots. I don't know who that guy is, but he just leaped over the entire Ravens line. I mean, he just jumped over everyone. He literally hurdled them to block a kick. That was awesome. That was pretty great. How do you not have any TV, Ryan? How do you have no satellite to watch sports?
I know, I just fly the motherfuckers.
Yeah. Right? It's too bad you're missing sports though. I'm enjoying this game though so far. I told you, man, I'm trying to get more into football. I still don't understand the game itself or even enjoy it, but I'm trying to become more in tune with it.
which is good. I mean,
it's because it's my biggest challenge. I mean, it's kind of like that last unclaimed territory of fantasy sports for me. I know I can win fantasy hockey. I know I can win fantasy baseball. I know I can win fantasy basketball. But and even though I have won fantasy football, it's not something I feel confident in or something I even, I want to get better at it. So I've really put a lot of time in it. And I will continue.
So, I mean, again, we got playoffs starting mainly next week, unless you're a league and we probably should have pushed it back, but
we didn't have the option for that, by the way.
Okay.
I double checked. I remember the situation we had. I tried to actually move it back. I did the same thing with basketball because a lot of people are complaining that maybe we need to move the playoffs forward essentially sooner, so that the players getting rested and all that sort of thing doesn't become so that doesn't become an issue and affect the outcome of somebody's season. I'm more than fine with that. But because, unfortunately, Yahoo seems to have scaled back some of their features, you can't do it. There's just no option to. There's literally just no option. Yahoo gives you, basically the last 2 weeks of any season or something like that. And you can't move it forward. You can't, you can't really get...
I don't know. I think you're full shit on that.
I'm not, because I set up the leagues and I checked those fucking settings.
I'm in a fucking Yahoo league that's in the playoffs this week.
Well, when I set up the leagues, Ryan, do you think I intentionally wanted them to go this late, or do you think I did my diligence and checked? Are you calling me a fucking liar and telling me I'm stupid?
Yes.
Well, fuck yourself, because I'm not.
I'm just saying I'm in a Yahoo playoffs league right now.
Okay. Well, when I had the settings and I'm setting up the goddamn leagues, I had no option for that. So I don't know. Either I'm entirely incapable of commissioning a league, or perhaps something changed. I don't know if you've noticed in fantasy basketball, the more recent leagues, the most recently drafted leagues, the page itself, when you check your team, is different than the originally drafted leagues. Have you noticed that? So maybe something changed. Possibly. It's possible. So I don't know. I'm just saying. I am very well aware of when playoffs should be starting or when playoffs could start. I'm not a complete dumbass. All right? I might be an asshole who needs to sit down and stop rocking the boat, but I am aware of playoffs and playoff settings. And so
I'm just saying our track record of getting settings right in leagues isn't the best.
That's maybe right. But look, I am promising you that I checked the settings and rechecked the settings, and if I had the option to have made the playoffs already begin, they would be going for football. And same thing with basketball. I would have had the basketball playoffs probably 2 weeks earlier than they're currently set for. But I didn't have that option. So, just to clarify. Since we're airing grievances, I don't really appreciate you casting aspersions on my commissioner character.
Well, I don't care that you don't like it.
You belligerent son of a bitch.
Hey, I'm not even through one beer yet today.
What? All right, get on it. You better get on it, because I'm getting pissed. You give me a lot of challenge here tonight. I don't know. I'm gonna throw a flag on that. I'm throwing a penalty flag. No, I would like to hear some criticism. I think there's been things said, and I can't say them for people, but I want them said. Okay, so JD, James, Triss,
Andrew, you son of a bitch! You're always talking so much crap to everyone.
Right, he's always starting. It seems like it's always Andrew in the middle.
It's always Andrew.
No, but I'm serious. Things have been said, and I think they're fair to get out into the open. I think we can discuss some of these things without anybody getting their feelings hurt. And I think they're all points that have been made to me privately are good points, and I think they're valid, and I would like to hear them expressed. I just don't feel that it's my place to speak for other people. And I could use, just general terms or not use somebody's name. But things are being said, and I'd like for that to be, dealt with. I think there are things that should be hashed out. I mean, we've had lots of trouble on the website. Like, that's our fault. The website's kind of jacked up, and we're working on finding an option to fix it and get it better. We're not web designers, obviously, so we're going to work on that, find out what it's going to mostly cost, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I did try to do some work on the website. My coworker who I'm training is better at that kind of shit than I am. So like we were doing the speed tests and trying to go through there and fix the stuff that we could. And I think the website's working a little bit better. It's still not perfect, so I mean, by any means.
Right. I mean, it needs a total redesign. And that's incidental to the actual workings of what's there. But, I mean, I think we've had some issues where, maybe people are rubbing each other the wrong way. We know, as I said, there was abrasiveness. And some people just don't necessarily get along as it is. There's just things where, like somebody rubs you the wrong way. That happens. But, like, I think, if you're like so rubbed the wrong way with a group of addicts that or any league where, I mean, there's supposed to be some smack talk and some crap talk and some shit talk and all the other kinds of talk, locker room talk, all that stuff, right? I think they're supposed to be. It's fantasy sports.
Right.
But if you're getting all bent out of shape over it, you might need some thicker skin. Right?
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, again, we're all here for the same goddamn reasons. We just want to play some goddamn funny. Sorry, I just looked at the YouTube chat and James Cubby Knoll rub me the right way.
More.
Totally lost this train of thought.
Stop touching me, Elmo. More. Sorry, that's a South Park reference. There it is. There's our South Park reference of the podcast.
Woo, almost didn't get that one in.
More.
I mean, we started with Arrested Development.
Well, that was actually Charlie Brown Christmas music.
But to me, that's always George Michael's Sad Walk.
Well, I thought it was a fitting intro. We've had some sad walking going around. Everybody's walking around, moping around, with their heads down. Hey, we're not enemies. We don't hate each other. We might not have. Look, we don't always get along. That's not a problem.
Frenemies.
Right. You don't know. Yeah. Let's just all play nice and talk some shit.
So Andrew, please stop instigating everything.
Every time you host a mock draft, there's a problem. Oh, geez. He's probably like, God, why am I getting singled out? We're joking.
Obviously, anybody that knows Andrew, Andrew's the most polite,
well-mannered person.
Mannered, yeah. It's Andrew's awesome.
So I mean, well, but see, that's the thing is he's still got his boundaries. I mean, that's why we gave him, the power of shutting people down in the chat and all that. He's got a good moral compass, a good sensibility about what's reasonable, what's not. Trust him pretty implicitly in that department, right?
Andrew scares the hell out of J Money.
Now we're all.
I don't think any of us should scare the hell out of J Money because he could probably turn us all into pretzels,
right. Oh yeah.
At the same time.
Right. I mean, it'd be like, remember that Simpsons where what was it? Who was it? What the hell's his name? Got the 1987 Buick Skylark lifted over his head. What was it? The Krusty Comeback Special, or was it Moe's or something?
Wasn't that just like a Johnny Carson?
Yeah, it's Johnny Carson. Yeah, it's Johnny Carson. That's J Money. He's like Johnny Carson. He's listening to Cars over his head.
Okay.
Sorry. He's Johnny Carson. He's long dead. Brunson doesn't even know who the hell he is. But like Johnny Carson, is that guy that played football for a half a minute with Cleveland? No, that's the other. That's football Johnny. That's Johnny Manziel.
All right.
Whatever happened to him, by the way? Where'd he go?
Manziel?
Yeah, where's he at? What's he doing these days?
He's fucking out of the league, like in and out of rehab.
You know what? I think he'd be a perfect co-host.
Right?
He'd fit in just fine right here. I think he would. I think he'd be just fine. He just needs to learn how to play fantasy. Maybe he does know how. I don't know. But yeah, so please, I really do, because so many opinions have been voiced to me in private or in passing. I really would like to have things out in the open. So, I mean, stand behind what you're going to say. You know, say it politely, but say what you got to say. Say it in the YouTube chat. Say it, say it on the website. Hell, join us on the podcast here. I think I'd like to hear a little of that, because I want to get some of this stuff cleared up.
Well, I mean, again, this is just kind of stuff that like goes on in not every league, but a lot of leagues. It's relevant. It's that whole like culture of fantasy sports or what goes on.
Right. Now, that reminds me of the Howard Stern Work League. That situation boiled over again. That is so funny, dude. I have enjoyed listening about that league so much. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the Howard Stern show. It's like they're, the behind-the-scenes employees have this football league. And, of course, Matthew Berry from ESPN, talented Mr. Roto, he happens to be in the league. And, some of these regular workers, they want the expert out. They want Michael Rappaport out because he's just an asshole generally. And then there's some porn star chick who doesn't even check her team. She's like the Bronson of the league. And, the talk is, should we kick him out? And but now there's like alliances being formed and like pacts being made. It's really hilarious, actually. But it just reminds you, again, if you're not a fantasy person, it sounds ridiculous probably when other people are talking about it. But if you know fantasy, you hear this stuff and you know exactly what's going on. You know exactly what they're talking about. You can relate. I mean, there's always a little bit of drama. So I'd like to air the drama if we could. I would hope. I know the YouTube stream's kind of dinked up here, but
right.
I don't know. I mean, if we had any comments, anybody standing by anything they said?
No, nobody. I mean, they're just all talking about Andrew and how he's out of control and needs to keep his partying down.
Tone it down, Andrew. You've had too much Gatorade. You're working too much and your Gatorade's getting out of hand. Oh, man, you scared that violin guy badly the other night. Oh, he's all intimidating. He's giving stank eye out and giving the hairy eyeball to people. Like they want to come in and study and play the violin.
I'm excited about Reese's baseball draft on FanTrax. Like, again, I missed Andrew's draft, and I still have that itch.
Well, yeah, but now I'm even itchier because I did scratch the itch, but it's made me itchier.
Yeah.
But the expert now, does Reese know who he's inviting into his leagues? Does he know? I mean, he knows us, right?
He knows us.
Does he know what kind of trouble he's getting himself into, though, bringing us into one of his leagues?
Of course.
Well, hey, we belong in any league. We'll make any league better or more dramatic. I know that.
For better or worse.
Pretty much. Ooh, what is this? Ooh. Oh, there's like some sort of mob movie? No. I don't know what that is. There's like, Tommy guns and old cars. It looked cool. I don't know. Sorry. Okay. I saw Tommy guns and old cars. I got distracted again. I have things that distract me, Ryan. I'm not the most focused, as you know.
Yes, and you're hard to keep on topic, but whatever. It's not like we got a strict program to follow.
We don't. Now, do you have any grievances that you'd like to air amongst ourselves?
So we're going with this Festivus grievances.
Well, we did call it the Festivus show. I was really hoping to have more grievances, god damn it.
I don't know. I'd rather have a feats of strength and pin you.
Ooh. Well, since I don't do that because I get nosebleeds and I have a heart condition, why don't you get into feats of strength with your wife, who I'm pretty sure would pin you?
And I'll like it.
Oh, gross. Suddenly a wrestling match turns into schmoopy time. Ew.
Woo!
Now,
I don't know, Tom. So grievances to be aired.
yeah, you got any grievances? You want to talk about anything, Ryan? You got anything you want to get off your chest about me?
No, I don't even want to go there. I don't want to touch it with the 10-foot Festivus pole.
Oh. Okay. Well, all right. So no
we
grievances.
we air grievances when we have them.
So we have no grievances, is what you're saying.
That haven't been aired.
Okay, this is the most boring airing of grievances ever. All right, you know what? I'm going to come up with a grievance. You missed Andrew's draft, dickwad. Like, what the hell? I was so mad. Although, I tell you what, my team is much better and everyone else's because you weren't there.
You're welcome.
Thank
you.
Again,
I didn't mean to miss the draft. I was just told 8, so I got up at 7:50.
That's all right. We weren't all on the same page. It's all right. You missed it.
Well, and also, let's be honest. Andrew's draft was talked about for a while, and it kept getting pushed back and postponed.
For our benefit. That was for our benefit, not his.
I don't know. I was ready to draft it like once or twice before, and it didn't happen.
Okay. Well, either way, we'll do another one. We'll make sure. Again, that's like missing the one of those Red Rock professional mocks. You know, you can't miss the mock drafts, even though it's just a mock draft. Right? For our purposes, it's intended to be, a teaching tool, some sort of illustrative purpose. Right?
Right. So don't be Bronson.
Yeah. So it's kind of a, it's kind of a bad. It's a faux pas to miss a mock draft and, something like our setup, but. Hey, we'll do another one. We'll make it up to Andrew. We'll get him a good one. We'll probably do our own. We're going to get into this Reese one. I don't even know. Did he say where he's writing again?
Basketball or fantasy baseball mayhem.
Okay. Now, what's the mayhem aspect?
It's the name of the site.
Well, I know like from, the world of TV, if you meet Mr. Mayhem, it means you're going to get killed. So. If there's a vote for mayhem, it means somebody's getting bumped off, like murdered. Like we had a vote for mayhem in our baseball leagues this year. Bronson got to meet Mr. Mayhem.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened with the whole Buxton thing. Remember that? I know Bronson hasn't forgotten. He learned a lesson that day. Oh, he learned a lesson. All right. I want to move on to the feats of actual strength. I want to talk about football playoffs in another second.
Okay.
I'm looking at my teams right here, okay? And all right, again, I'm in second place in the 2 FSAA leagues, I believe. And I'm ignoring my public leagues now. I've moved on from that. Like I think I just kind of crapped out around 500. So I'm going to actually lose this week to Tom Stopa. But I'm still in the playoffs. My teams are falling apart, so I need some advice. I need somebody to give me some information about who to go pick up or what to do. I did make a move. I picked up the Atlanta wide receiver that was the hot pickup of the last week, Taylor Gabriel, but of course I didn't start him. And I got 2 points out of fucking Larry Fitzgerald. So I'm hoping next week is a better matchup, but. I had a lot of guys putting up donuts, even like bench guys, donuts. Any Arizona player outside of David Johnson I've got is now completely unrosterable, it seems like. I want to know if I'm beating butt stuff in the other league. Woo! Good old butt stuff. Now, I mean, does anybody have any suggestions for me? Because again, I'm riding the horse that got me here. I've been going with Mariota, but I've got some players, like just falling off the map, and then other players that are picking it up. At this point, I don't know who to start in any given week. The more I do research, the more I try to decide who's the player to add or play, the worse it gets. So I am happy, though. I've got Alshon Jeffrey coming back. That's a nice thing to have a nice player to come back. But at this point in the season, I don't need wide receivers. I need a running back, and there's no running backs. I need a defense that's not going to be crappy. And I need Mariota to go back to what he was doing a few weeks ago.
Again, I started fucking Russell Wilson over Andrew Luck in my work dynasty league, and that cost me the goddamn playoffs. I'm so goddamn pissed about it.
What was your buy-in on that?
30 or 40.
All right, not terrible, but
no, it's just a matter like this is year 3, and I have yet to fucking win it.
Right, you consider yourself a fantasy sports person, and your work league is not something you can win.
Apparently not.
That's terrible. Now, I guess I shouldn't ask you for advice because you can't win a league. So, Addicts, who am I starting next week? Week 1 of the playoffs. Who am I starting? I need some advice. Addicts, you're in the FSAA leagues. If you're out, like, J Money's out in the one FSAA league. I think JD's going to move up ahead of me, I think. That's terrible. That hurts. So I want to know, because we got, there's some good managers in here. I just need some ideas. I need some information. Playoffs again next week. And I can't tell. I guess, oh, God, this is going to hurt. Looks like at this point I'm projected to go up against JD Balla. I'm going against Joe.
Okay.
And so, all right, so in the 2, all right, yeah, in the FSAA league, the 14 team, it's Reese, and I forget who. Reese, is it Keenan? I forget who's got the blocking dead team. Oh, that's Evan. Okay, so Reese and Evan, and then myself and JD. That's the playoff picture, and it's coming down to it. I mean, I don't want to play Joe next week. That's not the ideal matchup for me, obviously.
No.
I mean, even if I had the the over, or like just projected better matchup or better teams kind of thing, or better players, he'll make moves, and I don't, I just know I'm in trouble. So I don't know. Well, we do have whoa, Cubby Knoll in the other league. Cubby Knoll's in the playoffs.
Nice.
So Cubby and I, if I get past whoever Taco Tuesday is, David, I think he was one of the guys we opened the league up to. Maybe somebody we found on Reddit. But yeah, if Cubby and I can get through the semifinal round, we'll play each other for a championship, and that'll be fun. That actually would be a matchup I would love. Ooh, James, I'll see you in hell, buddy. I hope we get there. We have to get there first.
Right.
We have to get there first. But in the meantime, JD, I'm going to drive my team right up your ass. I hope. I'm just looking forward, this is
You're excited, which is fine, and again, good luck for everybody out there in their fantasy football playoffs.
Well, that's my feat of strength, is that I'm in the FSAA leagues. I'm in the playoffs. I mean, of all the leagues, I didn't think I would be in the playoffs. It was the FSAA leagues. We did a couple of side public leagues and stuff, and I'm like just a gamer. And I think especially one of them, it was because I played you at a very crucial week, and you slammed me so hard, especially with the points situation. My record's okay, but really with the points more than anything, I think is what hammered me. My points against went way up because you just rocked me. like a hurricane. That's the league where you're like going to be 12-2.
Yeah.
Going into playoffs.
With the 10-game win streak going, with the most points scored in the entire league.
Yeah, you're rocking and rolling. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just shy there. I'm just shy in the other one I got, and then there's another one. But yeah, like, so the FSAA league's like, why? I don't understand how I'm doing well, but I'll take it, and that's my feat of strength for this year. FSAA football, kicking ass. Now, all right, let me ask that: is it just because like we're not good at football as addicts? Is the competition actually weaker in the FSAA leagues?
No.
I mean, I'm just asking, like, is that what's going on here? Like, why is it that I'm in the playoffs and like you're not?
It's funny. I scored the most all season when I played you.
For what? Oh, for the that one public league where you're kicking ass. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, first of all, my team totally shit the bed that week. That's the league where I've got what's his name? DeAndre Hopkins was my first pick, and he hasn't done anything all year, so that was terrible. And so like that's a big part of what's going on. But you've got what is it? You've got the double running back whammy. You've got Le'Veon Bell and you've got David Johnson.
Oh yeah.
And they're giving you like an automatic 40 points a week, basically.
Pretty much.
Well, so at least you'll have a little trophy cabinet action. I'm open to. I would like to at least have a little hardware out of the FSAA leagues. But I'm proud of that, you know? I just don't like having to play Joe right now. Well, good luck, Joe. I need it. I know I do.
Cool. Should we go ahead and start wrapping this up?
Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Because I was really hoping for some we haven't had any like controversy or chaos. I wanted this podcast to be exciting.
Maybe it's just a lead-in for the live stream hangout that we do.
Okay, we'll do a live stream hangout. When are we going to do that? Are you going to make it?
Hopefully we can.
We've scheduled things that you've fallen asleep through or missed because you were asleep. What? No answer.
Sorry, I was just drinking.
Okay. Well, wasn't that all right? So, are we going to actually do that? Because I mean, I want to do this hangout. I know we were talking about doing hangouts and things, and we haven't had them. Now, all right. So JD got hammered. I want to throw this out there. He started the smart pick, which was Thomas Rawls for Seattle, but he got 7, almost 8 points out of him. But he left 32 from his Bilal Powell.
Okay.
32.5 points on the bench. Now, who expected that? Nobody, I'm sure. But goodness gracious. Like, you go with the safe pick, and then that's the one thing that frustrates me the most about football is it's like it just blows like with the wind, you know? Like, it just things, I know what Karl Anthony Towns is going to do. I know what Terrence Ross is going to do. I know what players who play basketball are going to do on pretty much any given night. I know what to expect out of them. But football, it seems like it's just based on however it goes that week, and there's like even the best like planning or forecasting can't keep up with like the way the game flows. I think that's maybe the most.
I did not expect fucking Russell goddamn Wilson to get me 2 motherfucking points.
Well, how could you? I mean, honestly, but to me, that's the most frustrating aspect of fantasy football. If I'm being, 100% honest there, that's the frustrating part. And that's why, I would normally say I hate football. I hate fantasy football. But I don't know. I feel like I'm getting better at drafting, better at pickups. But every time I feel like I am getting better at that, then there's that like, oh, the wind blew funny. Like the game changed, whatever it was, like, and something strange happened, and the more I know, the less I know. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Oh, it's gonna be a bloodbath next week. I gotta go against JD. It's gonna be terrible. JD, I can't wait. we'll hear about that. We're going to talk about that. There's going to be videos probably. I don't know. I could do a red light video even. I don't know. We'll see. This isn't my best fantasy football season ever, but it's my most thoughtfully planned. How about that?
Okay.
Like I put a lot of work in this year. And so like like going back to the Tris thing, if it seems like maybe I'm slacking in other areas, like maybe, a roto league that I'm in 14th place and can't move out of 14th place, it's because I've got my attention elsewhere with good intent, like I'm trying to win.
Right.
So there's that. And also, yeah, I mean, going back to the Tris thing, do you have anything you want to close on with that? Do you have anything you want to say about it? Because, I know I want all these grievances aired. I wish we could have had people. The whole point of doing this live stream during the Patriots game was we thought, oh yeah, everybody's gonna be hanging out watching the Patriots game already. Well, that's the thing. They're watching the Patriots game and they don't want to be part of the podcast. God damn it.
Last thoughts on it. I mean, again, Tris, we're not mad or upset. Like, you're free to speak your mind, do whatever you want. And I just think it was misguided. I'm sure he wasn't happy when he sized teams and was like, fuck, Westbrook and Giannis are on the bench.
Right. Well, but he should be thankful for that, honestly. In a roto league, like, you should be like doing cartwheels. Anytime your opponent misses a Westbrook start, you should be like, woohoo! Thank you, dummy. Set your dumb lineup, dumbass. Right?
Yeah.
Well, all right. But I think maybe just the aggression was slightly misplaced. I would have had, no problem with the aggression coming my way. I think that would have been fair. Like, yes, I am pretty much punting that team. And it's because the team sucked and I didn't have the best draft and there's not really a whole lot to do. And I'm not inclined to just stream a little dream of moving up from 14th place to 12th place. You know what I mean? Like, oh, wow, I passed Bronson, guys. Whoa. Whoa, look out, number one. I'm coming for you. Man, look, there's just sunk costs.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to think or see what other people think about all that. I'd like to hear maybe some of the other opinions. Ooh, ouch. Ouch. Dude. Ouch. Mike Smith gave up 7 goals tonight for the Coyotes. Jesus. Goals averaged against 8.42. I've never seen a goals average against that high for, I don't think, any game. I don't think I've ever had a goalie that bad. You know what? He's getting dropped. Fuck you, Mike Smith. I got 3 goalies, so I can drop them.
Okay, there you go.
So I'm checking all my team. I'm looking at all my teams, seeing if there's anything I want to talk about outside of, the complaining. And there's nothing really noteworthy. I mean, that's kind of the problem. That's the thing. That's the other issue. I mean, again, we said it. The season is quiet. It's not draft season. Things are just kind of on autopilot. As we get further, football playoffs, we'll talk about championships and who won and who's doing what. And
right.
Once there's less to focus on in that regard, it'll be basketball season, like full pure basketball season. And we'll be in basketball mode. But then it'll go back to being just regular basketball season. We're not going to be all that focused on it because then we've got draft season coming up for baseball. And by and large, I think the majority, we also have to kind of go with what our audience is dictating to us. And the bulk of what our audience appreciates and likes is fantasy baseball. We got a hardcore stat nerds and baseball fans, seam heads, right?
Yeah, and we got a lot of hoops.
Well, yeah, but I do think the bulk is baseball, at least at the moment. I mean, as we grow, maybe it'll change. We can kind of tailor our discussions. But, I mean, it's one of those things where since we're mostly basketball and baseball, if we talk about too much of one thing versus the other, we lose part of the audience. Like we lose half the audience if we talk all baseball. And if we talk all basketball, we lose the other half of the audience a lot of times, So it's just kind of a juggling act. And I mean, there's nothing to talk about right now. There's really nothing. I mean, Ryan, can you think of any like screaming storyline right now in fantasy basketball that is so urgent that we have to discuss it? Has anything happened that like has to be discussed? I mean, we know that the top story we talked about going into the season was Westbrook versus James Harden, being the 1A and 1B. It's still going on. Nothing has changed. Nobody's injured, right? Like, that's still going on.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony Davis, we know what's going on there. Like, I really, there hasn't been anything outside. Maybe Joel Embiid. How many times can you talk about Joel Embiid? Right?
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, basketball's just doing its thing. Like, again, we're not the podcast where it's like, oh, well, you got to go ahead and hurry up and add Nick Young if he was dropped in your league because he's about to break his goddamn coming back, injury quick. Like, that's just not who we are. Like, if you want to go and get fucking advice and...
Well, we'll give advice. We've got questions to answer, actually, before we close. I mean, we'll give as much advice as we're capable of doing.
Do we have questions?
You said there was some questions.
No, there's only one guy looking for some managers for his baseball league.
Oh. Well, was that Reese or was that just whoever?
No, this was Avery.
Okay, well, all right.
Old baseball video that we did. He was asking about looking for dedicated owners for a 16-team keeper league entering its third season.
Tris. Get Tris, because he's going to be really active. Not me.
Right?
Though. Not me. Or Bronson. Don't ask me or Bronson or Reese, I guess. Just Tris. Only Tris. I'm sorry. I'm joking. I'm just joking. I'm kidding around, Tris. But yeah, I mean, it's no secret. Well, come on, Tris. You fire people up. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And I think people who get a little too fired up over Tris probably just got to calm down a bit. And let's just realize, like, look, we all got different personalities, different character types. And, I think, again, what he said, I think that maybe got a little overblown and just overplayed, overhyped. I don't think he said anything that bad. I really don't.
Nah.
And it really, to me, it sounded like it was coming from a place of like, hey, I want you guys to keep succeeding, and I want good things, and I expect good things, and I don't think that's bad, right?
No, definitely not.
But I do have one question for you related to Tris. Did you ever watch The Third Man? I know we're all dying to know.
No, not yet.
Ryan, why haven't you watched a post-World War II era black and white movie, film noir from England? It's a Great Britain movie from the British Film Council or whatever.
Because
how have you not watched it? I've been telling you to watch this movie for years, even before we ever even knew Tris. I've been trying to get you to watch that movie forever, and you still haven't watched it. Like, all right, Tris, if Ryan hasn't watched it because I've been pushing it on him, he ain't watching it because you've been pushing it. I'm sorry, Ryan. If Ryan's not watching it, Ryan's not watching it. I don't know what else to say.
I meant to watch it last weekend, but I wasn't.
Well, you know what? Watch it tonight. Watch it tonight. You don't have TV. Your TV's out. You got your satellite all fucked up or something.
Yeah. All right. I'll watch it.
Okay, it's a very good movie, and again, it is pretty much my favorite movie I've ever seen. I think it's kind of like a 1A and 1B of like Wizard of Oz for me in terms of movies I really enjoy.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you should watch it. I hope you do watch it at some point. And I know Tris, Tris is a film buff, and he and I would both enjoy hearing your opinion about it. We could talk about that, not in a podcast, but
right.
We don't have a film noir podcast, so I don't want to wax on about it too long. But I do think, like, if you watch that movie, you will enjoy it. But hopefully you do actually watch it.
Yeah.
Have you had any feats of strength? I talked about my feats of strength. Have you had anything? Are you just like...
Well, I was pretty happy with my 12-2 football team.
Okay, yeah, that's good. You know what's better? Throwing 108 pies at you.
Really?
That was another feat of strength. I threw 108 pies.
Really,
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah. I think it's better than your 12-2 team or whatever. Is it not? All right. Anybody who's listening to this live or after the fact, is Ryan's 12-2 football team more impressive than him losing the pie bet, the World Series pie bet? Because I don't think so. I think my throwing 108 pies and calling it way back in, what was it, June, July? And you already had pies on the line from that game that I still owe you. When the Cubs came back from 6-0 deficit to beat the Seattle Mariners, right? And I called that they were going to win that game. And you're like, yeah, I think that's the most impressive thing that's happened all year.
Probably.
Hey, you know what? Enjoy that. I hope we get some more. We will do another mock draft before the Christmas thing happens. I do want to do like a year-end review kind of show where we talk about some of the things we've done, and we'll get the pugs together, sip some champagne. Well, I don't have any champagne, but I do have Prosecco, which I'm drinking right now. That's right. No beer for me tonight.
Okay.
No, I'm drinking Prosecco. It's a delicious beverage. It's like champagne, but the grapes come from Italy, not France. So, la-di-da. Goes down smooth. Speaking of smooth, J Money Smooth, thank you again for your kind donation last week. We appreciate that. And
always.
If we have any last comments, I'm happy to take them. I did want to have more grievances aired because I know people have things to say. They just ain't saying them in public, and I want to hear it. I want to have it out. Before the year is over, I want these grievances aired because, look, here's my perspective. And this isn't pertaining to anybody specifically, but I know for myself, if I'm doing something that I'm not aware of that bothers people, I'd like to know it. It doesn't mean I'm going to change my behavior, but I'd like to know why it is or how it is that I'm either offending you or entertaining you. And that's just my, I like to know. I like to know where I stand with people. Now, we've all had little side conversations and, people are a little bit, I don't want to offend anybody, but you know what? I don't think anybody's going to get their toes stepped on so bad that we can't figure out what the issue actually is. Okay. And that was the whole point of the show. And I was trying to drum it up today and get everybody going while you were asleep. It just obviously didn't work out. And since the YouTube live stream was shitty, that didn't work out at all. And I still think there are things left unsaid that I'd like to have said.
Well, we got, about 2 weeks until Christmas. We can still do a airing of grievances, but really bottle that shit in. Serenity now. Serenity now.
Serenity now, insanity later. As Tris knows, you don't bottle that shit in, you let it out. You get drunk and you let it out. Let it fly like Mussolini from the balcony, baby. That was another Seinfeld reference. We're just references all over the place tonight. I love it. No, I'm serious, though. If you got a beef with somebody on the website, let it fly. Let it out. Be classy about it, but let it out, oh, man, this game's insane. There's a lot of stuff happening in this game, Ryan. You got to watch Third Man. Don't watch the game. I'm watching the game.
I'll probably go take a nap.
A nap? God, you are the least exciting person I know. Always napping and
working and
doing schmoopy constantly, just schmoopy and napping and watching dogs fight and then watching people fight. It's so boring.
No, it's great. Is it not?
It's terrible. I think it's terrible. I think you need to do a little more mock drafting. And less sleeping. More mock drafting, less sleeping. All right, so Reese, we're gonna try to pump up that league. We'll get some addicts in there. Sound the draft horn.
Let us know. I'm off all weekend,
and we'll get into that draft, and we'll get as many addicts in there as we can. I'm sure we'll have plenty of takers. Nothing to worry about that. We'll fill up that league quick, and we're gonna Just grind it into the ground too, probably.
Yeah.
Ruin all these experts. If there actually are experts and writers in there, they're going to be like, who are these monsters? And the most vicious of all of them, Andrew from FantasyAid. Oh, man, that was such a good draft, dude. You fucking missed that. You suck for that.
I know.
You really missed. That was such a good draft. It really was. I mean, and we all were like, wow, this is fun. We're having a great time. Like, drafting baseball. Like, it was pretty great. Oh, getting a call from the old Matt Sauger here.
Oh.
So that's my booty call. And that's not. It's actually something else. But on that note, let's go, and then we cheeched, and we're going to have some bangers, and let's close with the Fantasy Sports Serenity Prayer.
All right. You want to go ahead and take the honors?
I would love to. Ryan, you missed that mock draft, and you suck for it. That's my last grievance to be aired. Fantasy gods, please grant Ryan the serenity to try to sleep a little less and draft a little more. And the courage to, once he's drafted, add drop aggressively. The wisdom, as always, to sleep a little less and draft a little more. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, that's a great Fantasy Sports Serenity Prayer. If you like that stuff, go to our website, FantasySportsAddicts.com. Hit us up on Twitter at letter F, letter S, the word double, letter A, FSAA. And, hit us up on Twitter, hang out. And also, since we mentioned so much FantasyAid, he's on Twitter at FantasyAid1. And also Cubby Knoll at Cubby Knoll. Nole, like the Florida Seminoles. There you go. Bam. That's enough shout-outs. Did I get it all? Did I get everybody? Did I cover everything?
Thank you, J Money. Woo!
Woo! All right, you guys, thank you for hanging out. Sorry it wasn't the explosive, huge, roast debate style thing I wanted to show for everybody tonight, but hopefully it was okay. We'll get back with you later this week. We'll do some drafting, and we'll do some more hanging out, and we're going to get back on that. So everybody just sit tight. Don't lose patience. Make sure you set your goddamn lineups, Tom.
All right.
And Bronson. All right, you guys. We'll talk to you next time.